Hey guys, so I'm back today to do a tutorial for the Cascading card that I made the other day for Polka Doodles. I'm going to be doing exactly the same size, so this is 5x7. It fits in a 5x7 envelope, apart from if you've got something on the top there, obviously you need to make your envelope a little bit bigger, but if you didn't have nothing on the top, it would fit perfectly in a 5x7 envelope. And the paper pad I am using today is by Polka Doodles, and it's just Smile Designer Crafting Papers, A5 size, 32 sheets in here. I thought this would be a perfect pack to use. So I'm going to get straight into it. I have prepped as much as I can, and I will talk you through with you though. So for the base of your card, you're going to need two pieces of 10 by 7 inch card. It depends what colour you want to use. I'm going for white because this is what I have here and it goes better with my colours I'm using. So on the 10 inch side, then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to score at 2.5 and 7.5, okay? Then you're going to want to turn the paper over and then score at 5, okay? Do exactly the same on the other piece. So on the 10 inch side, 2.5, 7.5, turn the paper over and then 5 inches. Okay. Then what I've done is I've marked it so it's easier. So you're going to want to cut your paper from the 7 inch corner down here then to, I think this is 2.5 I marked it at. Yeah, 2.5. So I've marked it there and I'm going to cut that now. So you're going to want one piece where it goes like that from one corner to the other, and then you're going to want the other piece where it does exactly the same but from the opposite direction. So I'm going to mark 2.5 on this piece. Now let me just, yeah, 2.5 on this piece. So 7, so 1, 2, there, 2.5 is there. So, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut from the 7 inch corner here down to my 2.5. I am going to use this scoreboard trim cutter thing because it's just as bad as my, I have a new one, but it's awful. I don't like it at all. I've had a replacement as well and it's still horrible. Still cuts all horrible. So, just... So there, you're going to want to cut like that and do exactly the same on the other bit. So from your 7 inch corner there down to your little marking for the 2.5. Make sure you've got it at the angle. There we go. And then you've got your cards there, your opposites. Now, what you want to do is you want to do some cut lines now. So I've lost my pink pair. I had this gorgeous pair from Lidl's. Most of you had the pair of scissors you bought from Lidl's. They're pink handles, flowery. And I've lost them. I just don't know where I've put them. So I'm left with these tiny little frozen scissors because I don't know where my scissors are. Anyway, so on the 7 inch side from the left, so this is the left here, from this side, you want to cut from the top, okay? So you're going to do some, I just dropped my scissors. You're going to do some markings out again. I find it easier to do it this way. So you're going to want to mark it out halfway. So halfway from this score line, it's about 6 inches, I think. Let me just double check. So I'll get my ruler. Yeah, it's just under 6 inches. So I'm going to mark just under 3 inches. So I'm going to use this to help me because I haven't got any. So I'm going to mark it by there, I'm going to say. And then on the smaller bit, so on the smaller score line, it measures up to 3.5, I'd say. So half of that. So I'm going to do in between 1.5, 1 3/4, and between 1 7/8. So about there. So and you do exactly the same markings, but you cut up. So I'm cutting down on this one. So on the 7-inch side, down to my score line, and again down to my score line. And then on this one, with the 7-inch side on the right, you're going to cut up from the bottom. So you're going to want to do the same markings as you did on here. It's easier just to mark them off with the ruler again. So like I said, measure from there. So it was just under 6. So I'm going to measure about there. And then on this one, I'm going to measure about there. So you want exactly the same markings, but this time, so this one comes down, but with the 7-inch side on your right, you're going to cut upwards. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. So I'm just cutting upwards. And I'm going to want to just slot it in to see if it fits. So that fits. So fold it like that and like that. And then that one folds in like that and like that. So that's the card. How you left with. Let me just, where's my bone folder? There it is. So that's, and then what you're going to want to do then is slot this one into that one as well. So let me just, so then your card stands like so. So your card will be stood like that. And then while you've got it like this, what you're going to want to do is put a little dot or just a little squiggle on the bits which you're going to be able to see. So you know these are the parts you're going to want to cover. So these are the bits you know you're going to want to put card on, because you're not going to need to put card on it, that bit, just the front bits. These are the bits that are going to be facing the front, okay? Now, you could mat and layer these, but I'm not. I'm just going to put them straight onto white card because I've got the white card. Now, you're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. So 4 pieces of card. 2, 4, 6, 8. So you're going to need 1 sheet for the back here, 1 sheet for this one, 1 sheet for that one, and 1 sheet of that one. So what I've done, I've got 4 different pieces of card. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I've cut it then into, I have written on the back of one year, 2 1/4, I think. I've done it. Yeah, 2 1/4 wide. Each of these pieces are 2 1/4 wide, okay? And you're going to need 8 2 1/4 inch wide piece of paper. You could use all the same papers if you want. You don't have to, but they're the 4 I'm using. So, but I've got 8 in total. It's 4 different sheets of paper I've cut from, but 8 in total then. Okay, does that make sense? I hope I'm making sense. So for the back ones, right, I've got my measurements here. So for the back ones, what I've done, I've marked it all down here somewhere. It's just finding my markings. Okay, so there we go. So for the back ones that go here, the largest ones, what I've done is I've marked on here. So they're 2 inches wide and they are 8 1/4 long. They don't have to be that long if you haven't got that piece of paper. You can trim them down, but what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get your pencil or a pen. I've already done my markings, but I'm just doing it to show you. And you're going to want to mark at 6 3/4 and then 5 5/8. And bearing in mind you're cutting from this angle to go on this bit. Okay, so I'll show you then what I've done. So I'm going to cut at the marks that I've done it, and then I'll show you what I mean. So I've done some little markings out so I know where I want it. Sorry, it's so hard when you're doing a tutorial. I get all confused. I'm thinking, am I doing it right? But there we go. So I'm going to take them apart a minute just to show you. So this for this bit. So as you can see there, then it fits in like so. And then because the paper is the opposite side, all I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it like so that the patterns are facing each other, and I've got the plane like that. And I'm just going to cut it, join it together like so, and then cut down. Because my trimmer is awful, it leaves marks, so I don't want. And then I've got the paper for both sides. Okay, so this one I scored it at, I'm going to read it out again, 6 3/4 and then 5 5/8 on both sides. Okay, so also on both papers. Then the next design I am using is this pink design here, and this is for this part now, and this is going to be, you're going to want to mark it at 5 1/2 to 4 1/2. Okay, so let me just, so I've marked it at 5 1/2, no, I've used the wrong paper. Sorry, I was all confused then. I've used this design. I couldn't think why I had different measurements then. Sorry guys. See, I'm terrible with, there we go. So I've marked it 5 1/2 and then 4 1/2 there. Okay, and then I've done exactly the same on these pieces. I've marked it 5 1/2 and 4 1/2 there. Okay, and again we're just going to cut. Then I've got this design again then, and then this one you're going to want to mark at 4 3/8 and 3 3/8. So we've got 3 3/8 and 4 3/8 marked, and you want to do that on both papers. And then obviously fold them over and cut. Okay, so I'm going to cut all these and then I'll be back. Oh, and the last piece you're going to want to have is the smaller piece, and you're going to want to cut that 3 1/4 to 2 1/4. Mark it at 3 1/4 there and 2 1/4. Okay, so it goes down that way. So I'll cut these and then I'll be back. Okay, so I'm hoping that all made sense to you. If it doesn't, what I meant is, so this is the first piece that's going to go, the biggest piece that's going to go at the top there. And what I simply meant is you want to mark it at 6 3/4 and by 5 5/8 and just do the one piece, and then get the second piece, put it together like that, and then snip across the lines. Okay, so you've got the same pieces, but you've got the actual diagonal marks they're supposed to have. Does that make sense? I hope it does. And do it for all the papers. So I have already. I've put some double-sided sticky tape on some of them, not all of them, but I'm going to use glue probably for the rest to save some time. So what you're going to want to do then is the bits you've squiggled, make sure you've got the right papers matching the right sides. So this is for this side, and then obviously I want a white border. So, and that's too much of a white border. I should have moved it more across, but that's fine. I'll leave it like that for now, because save messing about. Then this side. See, I love double-sided sticky tape, but you cannot pull it back up. If you've made a mistake, that is it. It's down there. It's final. There's no pulling that back. So Right, I've got some wet glue. I don't like to really use wet glue because it warps the pages, I find. So I'm just gonna use a little bit. I'm not gonna go OTT like I do sometimes for stuff. So, and then again, make sure it's the right piece for the right. See, like, look, I could maneuver that around because it's wet glue. So I knew where I wanted it. So you've got that bit. Then this bit goes here. I'm gonna have to try and leave a bit of a gap like this one as well. So I want it to be see, I've messed up on that. I haven't put it straight, and because I can't, that's fine. The card's not going to anyone anyway. I just wanted it to show you. So I've got the coordinating piece there for this bit. So again, I'm using wet glue for this one. So put that there, like so. And then where's that coordinating bit? That's that one. Apologies if you can hear my children. It is the school holidays. We've survived 2 weeks. Woo! And then there's that bit. So only put your card down on the bits that you've squiggled a line on, or a circle or a cross or whatever you've marked it with. I'm going to put a bit of glue on this just in case I make a mistake. If you've put double-sided sticky tape down and you add a bit of wet glue as well, normally you can maneuver it a bit, but I don't know why I didn't put some wet glue down and try and maneuver it, but no. And then the last piece is here. I've not put any double-sided sticky tape, so it's wet glue. So although I've messed up, it's still, I hope you can still see what I was getting at, or how to make this card. I hope I've made it as straightforward as I can for you. So then you piece it together. You make sure the top piece slots on like so. So just slot it on, and then you get this piece and slot it on as well. Like so. Push it down. There we go. And that's your card. Like, I've messed up by there. But what I'll do now is I have a bag of die cuts from Polka Doodles. So anything that I cut out and I don't use instantly, I'll save in case I have another project coming up. So I've got some butterfly die cuts. And what I'll do is I'll put one up there to cover my huge mistake. There. So I'll lay it down so you can see. So I'll put him. I'm calling the butterfly a him or a her. It could be a him or a her, either one. And then I've got lots of bits that I cut out and I don't like waste, so I save it for another project then. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put that by here. So again, like my other one, I'm gonna hook it like so. So I'm gonna put a bit of glue there. So what I've done is I've put a bit of glue on the end there and then line it up where I want it and then put the bit of glue there. Oops, I let that bit come off. So it's like that. Then I love this die, honestly. I'm gonna put some of that. I don't want to cover in the giraffe though. Apologies if you can hear my son. So I'm gonna use the blue one, and I'm gonna put the blue one there because I like the blue like so. And I'm just gonna put some glue all over here to make sure it sticks down where I want it to. So, and then stick it across like that. Like so. And you can go as mad as you want or as little as you want. So let's see what else I got. What other die cuts I got? I got some flowers that I think I might use. Yeah, I'm gonna use these. So I'm just gonna build them up and then put them by there. So I just glue a bit of the back and layer them. And then a bit more onto this one, and then again layer them, and then I place it where I want it. So I'm going to put it by here, like so. And then what I'll do is I'll get a gem. Haven't got a colour to hand that I want, I don't think. Let me just check. Ah, there we go. So I'm going to use a pearl one, I think. I'm going to slot it in the middle here. And then just put it like so. And you can put your sentiments in your card or anything. And it just makes it look really, really pretty. But yeah, you can go as mad as you want. You could add more butterflies if you wanted. So, and you could have them hanging like... That's what I like about these die cuts, is that they can actually hang. So if I wanted to put it like that, I could have it like that. So it looks like it's coming off the page. So yeah, so that's my cascading card tutorial. I hope it all made sense. If you do need any help, just let me know in the comments. I will also link the blog post I found for this as well. So take care guys, bye.